morning. How are you? Welcome to class 885. It's a pleasure to have you here. Let's continue with our translation list on page, 370. The never-ending story. I'll never finish this. At the bottom, 370, the last sentence. At the bottom, el cielo está empezando a despejarse. The sky is starting to clear up. Yes. It was raining and very, very cloudy, and now the sky is clearing up. It's starting to clear up. To clear is claro o transparente, clear. To clear up is aclarar algo, pero no una aclarada de ropa, no. Aclarar un malentendido, por ejemplo, to clear up. Mira, quiero aclarar esta situación. I want to clear up. Clarify, clarificar también. To clarify, to clear up. Ya lo aclararé yo con él, eh? I'll clear it up with him. I will clear it up with him. I'll clarify it with him. All right, to clear up. But clear up can be physical. El cielo, ya, por fin, cielo azul. The sky is clearing up. Everything's clearing up after the storm. The calm after the storm. Okay, the next page 371 at the top. La póliza ha caducado. The policy has expired. O sea, expirado. All right, the policy has expired. It's no longer valid. Yeah, your wife died, but your life insurance policy expired last year. You didn't make the payment this year. I didn't make the payment. You didn't make the payment. So your policy has lapsed. Se dice lapsación. Incluso en español, lapsación. Your policy has lapsed. It expired. Sorry. ¿Vas a renovarla? Are you going to renew it? What? The policy. What policy? Your wife's life insurance policy. You have a life insurance policy on your wife for $10 million. Yeah. And it's going to expire if you don't renew it. Are you interested in renewing the life insurance policy on your wife? $10 million. Wow, $10 million. For me, there was a policy on me for 10 million euros, yeah. The company put a policy on me for 10 million. They're crazy. The premium was 80,000 euros a year. ¿Será posible? They were crazy. All right, I didn't agree. Okay, la póliza ha caducado. The policy has expired. ¿Vas a renovarla? Are you going to renew it? ¿Para qué? What for? What for? My wife's okay. I don't need, whatever. Ojalá supiera más inglés. I wish I knew more English. I wish I knew English better. Yes, ojalá tuviera más dinero, hombre. I wish I had more money. You too? También, Martes? She wishes she had more money too. Yes. I wish I had more money. Ojalá pudiera convencerle a él. I wish I could convince him. He's very stubborn. Stubborn is testarudo. Muy obstinado. He's very stubborn, hard-headed. He's very hard-headed. I wish I could. Ojalá pudiera. I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could. But I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. I wish I could convince him, but I can't convince him. It's impossible. All right. Espero que llueva esta tarde. I hope it rains this afternoon. We need rain. Oh, oro del cielo. Yes, just gold. For central Spain, yes, rain is always good. But I don't want it to rain today. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Yes. Espero que llueva esta tarde. Ojalá llueva. I hope it rains. Ráscame la espalda. Scratch my back. Yeah. No, further down. No, to the left, to the right. Yeah, scratch my back. Tengo un terrible dolor de muelas, pobrecito. I have a terrible toothache. I have a terrible toothache. I have a terrible toothache. I have a terrible, I need to go to the dentist. And if you remember, I prefer spending an hour with the dentist than spending an hour going shopping. Yes, going shopping. In Texas, there's an important Hispanic population. And the first generation of Hispanics don't speak English very well. Well, they don't speak English perfectly, okay? And the women, cuando van van de compras, no dicen shopping porque no les sale la SH en inglés. I'm going to go chopping. I'm going to go chopping. Chopping es ir talando árboles. Chop. Pork chop. Chop es con H de carnicero. Chop. 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 I'm going to go chopping today. Chopping. All right. And when they buy sheets, que son sábanas, dicen linens, de lino, linen, because they can't pronounce sheets correctly. Y suena a mierda, shits. So I want to buy linens. Oh, you want to buy some sheets? Yes, linens. Because they are afraid of their pronunciation. Learning languages. All right. Where are we? Vocabulary, by the way, page 195, right? Yes, 195, list 33. Una molestia, an inconvenience. Algo que te ralentiza. It's an inconvenience. Me han dicho que no podemos seguir el programa si no están afilados los lápices. Y no tengo afilador. No tengo sacapuntas. It's an inconvenience. We can't continue the class. Yeah. We don't have a pencil sharpener. You know, put it here. I don't even have a little one, I don't have a little pencil sharpener. And I don't have an electric. And so I have to stop the class. It's an inconvenience for you. And it's an inconvenience for me, una molestia, un problema. It's an inconvenience, una inconveniencia, literalmente. But inconvenience means un problema, que me ralentiza en mi progreso. It's an inconvenience. De antemano, beforehand. I've spoken about this before, beforehand. Yeah. Beforehand, de antemano. Es curioso, ¿qué tiene que ver la mano con la anterioridad? Con lo de antes. Pero en inglés decimos lo mismo. Todo junto. Beforehand. Antes de mano. Beforehand. Strange. Anuncio en la tele, en televisión. Commercial. En México, ahorita venimos después de los comerciales. Volvemos enseguida después de los anuncios. All right. Después de la publicidad. All right. Commercials. There's a commercial on TV. Commercials. Yes. I remember, you see, in Spain, here in this country, if you're watching the normal channels, Telecinco, Antena 3, whatever, right? During a movie, there's a commercial break. And the commercial break has 7 minutes. Wow. My God. But in the United States, and so for 7 minutes, you go to the kitchen, you make a sandwich and things, and come back. Fine. In the States, the commercial break is only 1 minute, not 7 minutes. But we have a lot of people outside. 7 minutes. But you have a commercial every 7.5 minutes. So boom, again, boom, a break, boom, a break. I prefer here in Spain. 7 minutes of commercials. Not one commercial or 2 commercials every 7 minutes. I remember a person wrote a letter to the television company. It said, I enjoyed the Saturday night commercials. It's too bad it was interrupted so many times by the movie. All right, just the opposite. Commercials, crucero, cruise. Tomás Crucero, Tom Cruise. Cruise, un crucero por el Mediterráneo. A Mediterranean cruise. A Baltic cruise to see the fjords in Norway. A cruise ship. Personally, I'm not attracted to cruise ships. Have you ever been on a cruise? Yeah. Do you like them? She likes the cruise, but there are too many people. Too many people. Floating hotel. All right. Cruise ships. Cruise. Tintorería, dry cleaners. The dry cleaners. Los limpiadores en seco. Limpieza en seco. Dry cleaning. A dry cleaner. Yes. Yes, that, for example, if you have a suit, you can't put it in the washing machine. You take it to the dry cleaners. I'm going to take this suit. Voy a llevar ese traje al tinte, se dice, ¿no? I'm going to take this suit to the dry cleaners, con un S, a los limpiadores en seco, to the dry cleaners. I'm going to take this. You know, I know a fellow who owns 40 dry cleaners. He's rich. He has 40 dry cleaners. Yeah. When he was 18, he went to the Complutense in Madrid, the university, to study law, derecho. And he didn't pass the exams the first year. So he repeated the first year. And in the second year, he passed only 2 exams. So he dropped out. Abandonó. He dropped out. And he started working with his aunt, la tía. And his aunt was an old maid. ¿Cómo? His aunt was an old maid. Vieja moza. ¿Eso qué es? Solterona. She was an old maid. No será políticamente correcto hoy en día. She was an old maid. And she had a dry cleaning store. And he started working with her, helping her. And they had a good relationship. And she died. But in her will, she passed the dry cleaners to him. So he was the owner. And he worked very hard. And he opened a second dry cleaners in a different neighborhood and another. And now he has 40. Está montado el dólar, chico. Bueno, chico, ya tiene 45 años. But in any case, so you can start a business. That's what you call, con baja tecnología, low-tech business, not a high-tech business. Dry cleaners. Juego limpio, fair play. Yeah, quiero fair play en este partido. O sea, juego justo. Fair play, juego limpio. Resaca. Resaca has 2 meanings. La resaca marina. That's the undertow or the rip current. But resaca de beber demasiado. That's a hangover. Hangover. It's interesting. Hang is colgar. Colgar la ropa, to hang the clothes. But over means ya to hang. For example, to hang over. Está colgando al otro lado. Esto es el día anterior y la noche. Y luego la mañana siguiente. A hangover. Colgar sobre hacia el día. A hangover. Richard, yeah. When was the last time you had a hangover? The last time I had a hangover, I think, was about 25 years ago. Long time. Yeah, a long time. Yeah. Or 30 years ago, maybe. How many hangovers have you had in your life? Me? How many hangovers have I had in my life? 5, maybe. I don't drink. I drink every day. I drink alcohol every day, wine. Sometimes beer. But I don't drink whiskey. I don't drink gin. I don't drink vodka. I don't drink rum. I don't drink spirits in general. I only drink beer or wine. But I don't drink a lot in one sitting. I'm not a binge drinker, so I don't suffer. I don't get drunk. Never. The last time I got drunk was maybe 30 years ago. All right. And it was by accident. It was by accident. It was during the day, not at night. I was having lunch in my house with Sergio, a good friend of mine. And we had a special drink that somebody gave me as a gift. And first we drank wine during the lunch, and then we drank it. It was very good. We kept drinking it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I didn't get completely drunk, but I was close. All right. And the next day, I noticed a little, not too much, a hangover. Hangover, resaca. In profundidad, in depth. Deep is profundo, deep. How deep is your love? Cuán profundo es tu amor por mí? How deep is your love? Deep, 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 deep. Now, depth, PTH, depth. Imagina Johnny Depp con fetal después. Depth es la profundidad. Depth. Depth charges. El destructor manda cargas de profundidad, ¿no? The submarine, depth charges. Depth charges. Yeah. Voy a hacer un análisis en profundidad de la situación. I'm going to make an in-depth analysis of the situation. Eso es lo que viene aquí. In depth. Lo voy a estudiar en profundidad. I'm going to study it in depth. All right. In depth. Carril. El carril derecho, carril izquierdo, carril interior. Lane. 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 Yes. The right lane and the left lane. A two-lane highway or a two-lane road is con dos carriles. Four-lane highway es desdoblado. Y hay dos carriles en cada sentido. In each direction, you have 4 lanes. In Los Angeles, there are freeways that have 8 lanes and 8 lanes. It's incredible. And even then, the traffic is congested. Lanes. Stay in your lane. Quédate en tu carril. No migres a otro carril. Stay in your lane. The fast lane and the normal lane. The passing lane. Lane también, escrito lane, repito, son las calles en el atletismo. La pista. Tienes 8 calles, 8 lanes. The inside lane, the outside lane, the third lane, the second lane. Lane. Alpinista. Wow. Mountain climber. O sea, trepador de montañas. Mountain climber. Yeah, Richard. Yeah. Would you like to be a mountain climber? No. Paso. Not really. But you know, I have never seriously tried to climb a mountain. Maybe I would become addicted to it. You never know. And how many mountains have you climbed? From the bottom to the top? Yeah. I mean mountains, not montículos, no? Not little tiny hills, you know? Really only one in my life. And that was in Gredos, here. From the bottom to the top. How long did it take you to reach the top? It took about 3 hours. So it wasn't a tall mountain. It was a very, very big hill. Yes. So to reach the top. And was there a good view from the top? Wow. This was in the area of Piedrolaves, Ladrada, Sotil Ladrada, in this area. And when I reached the top, it took me 3 hours from the bottom to the top. No, 3 hours, no, 2. It took me 2 hours. The view was incredible. Hasta Extremadura, you could see. It was a beautiful view. Very, very nice view. Mountain climber. Who is the greatest mountain climber in Spanish history? I don't know. Alpinista montañero. Se dice alpinista, no? All right. I can't remember his name. In the 1960s and 1970s, there was a very famous mountain climber. I can't remember his name. And it was strange. Because in the 1970s, in this city, there was a department store called Woolworths. It's an American style. And they had the American type of bar where you sit on a stool and you eat, and there are people sitting next to you. And there was a mountain climber sitting next to me, very famous. Everybody was talking to him. I can't remember his name. Famoso alpinista español. I can't remember his name. That's strange. I'm losing my memory. All right. Alpinista. Oso polar. Mira tú. A polar bear. A polar bear. Yeah. Imagine a polar bear. Okay, imagine a polar bear at this point. The polar bear walks 1 kilometer to the south, and then 1 kilometer to the west, and then 1 kilometer to the north, and the polar bear is once again in the same point. Yeah, 1, 1, 1. But the polar bear is in the same point. Why? Because the polar bear is at the North Pole. So it's like this, in the North Pole. So if the polar bear starts at the North Pole and goes 1 kilometer south, 1 kilometer west, and 1 kilometer north, the polar bear is back at the beginning point, the starting point. Polar bear, oso polar, polar bear. Yes, there's a polar bear. Hay un oso polar en mi frigorífico. Tengo miedo de abrirlo, porque ahí está dentro. There's a polar bear in my Frigidaire. And when I open it, I'm afraid to open it because the polar bear is in there. All right. So, polar bear. Ingenioso. Uno con recursos aquí. Resourceful. Recurso is resources. Human resources, natural resources. But a resourceful person is una persona llena de recursos que resuelve y se las ingenia para resolver. That's a resourceful person. No tiene que tirar de nadie para hacer lo que tiene que hacer. He's very resourceful. Yes, very resourceful. Yes. Are you a resourceful person? You see, to learn English, it's true. Resourceful people don't need me to learn English. And they don't need the books to learn English. A resourceful person figures out on his own or on her own how to solve the deficiency in English. They find a way. Querer es poder. Where there's a will, there's a way. And they're very resourceful. And they figure out on their own how to solve the problem of English in this case. That's a resourceful person. Confianza en uno mismo, self-confidence. ¿Tienes confianza en ti misma? Do you possess self-confidence? Are you a self-confident person? Yes. En español suele decir una persona decidida, una persona resuelta, más que autoconfiada. Porque con autoconfianza se dice muy poco. Una persona con decisión y resolución y con seguridad en sí mismo. All right. That's a self-confident person. A self-confident person. And that person possesses self-confidence. All right. Yes. Somnífero. Sleeping pill. Una pastilla para dormir. Vamos. Sleeping pill. I've never taken a sleeping pill in my life. Have you? Never. Not once. A sleeping pill. One time, I remember, my mother got angry with my grandmother, with her mother-in-law, the mother-in-law. And my mother-in-law was my paternal grandmother was a strong person, but she took sleeping pills. And one time, when I was a little boy, she wanted to give me a sleeping pill because I was very hyperactive. And my mother said no. My mother got very firm, firmeza, very firm with my grandmother. Don't give sleeping pills to Ricky. Okay, sleeping pills. Yes. Taburete, stool. Es como herramienta, tool con la S delante, stool. Stool. To sit on a stool. To sit on a stool. Sometimes when I give talks in front of a big audience, I sit on a stool. Yeah. Or in a chair like this. To sit on a stool. Yes. A bar stool. Taburete de bar. Bar stool. All right. Little Miss Carpool sat on her bar stool. Stool. So, meta. How much time do we have, Marta? Yeah? We're running out of time? We're running out of time. I'll have to come back tomorrow and continue. Take care.